very fast. And in this chapter, we were at marketing information systems. And I told you, this is marketing information systems is composed of all the systems surrounding the customer's information. After the exam, I will give you a diagram to give you a better picture where we are and how in marketing we are talking about so many concepts placed everywhere. I will give you a picture, and so now you will be able to place everything in its right place. Okay, so continuing with the class, we have the marketing information system. First, we need to develop internal information about the customer. So you have internal bases about the customer. You have marketing in intelligence processes. In your corporation, you have your team. Remember I told you, you have your team for marketing insights. And those guys have methods and procedures to squeeze valuable information from the internal databases of the customers. And while they are squeezing the information, questions just pump up, just come up like automatically. And that's where you have to direct your marketing research efforts. And to do that, I told you, you either outsource the field work or the whole marketing research project, or you do it in-house internally. And after you have the marketing research, you analyze the information and you report to management. And management, will receive the information. They are most of the time, most of the corporations, they are very eager to receive the information because it is the customer talking to them. And so they receive the information, they review the vision of the corporation just to know that their corporate efforts make or have a good fit with what the customers are telling them. So if the mission is right, or if there is a misalignment, so they say, okay, where is the problem? It's not in our mission, because our mission is saying what we want to sell, to do. Our values are correct or not? Are we just polluting some rivers somewhere? And that's the reason the customers are telling us you are killing us? Probably the values are misaligned, or is not there. If it's not there in the mission or the values, you review the goals. If the goals are correct, you don't have any other option but to continue with those goals, because probably you don't have the money. So how did you operationalize your goals? And you now go to the lower level, which is the objectives. Are your objectives realistic or not? And now that you have your objectives, you pull them out towards the functions of the corporation. So you send the Department of Finance their goals. You send to the Department of Logistics and Production their goals. You sell to the guys in marketing their goals. You see? It comes from the top down. That's how it works. Now, you have all the marketing information, you have your customers' opinions in the market research. You analyze, you send the results to the board. But remember, there are some marketing environment things or elements that will always mediate whatever is between you and your customer. One could be how you are targeting the markets. One can be the marketing channel you are using. Probably, I just mentioned it in last class, you should go online. It shouldn't be like a very difficult decision. Everybody should be online now. You have to monitor your competitors. You have your publics. Remember last chapter, the publics. And now you have the macro environment forces. Remember the political environment, the economic environment. Now, where is my note? My notes are here. Good. So, as I told you, you have the information. You did a little bit more of research on your customer, and you deliver the information to those who have the power to make decisions. So the most difficult part when you get all the information, when you do marketing research, for example, I want to do a marketing research about nostalgia among Hispanic consumers. And I want to figure out if that nostalgia triggers hope. That sounds like very romantic. It's not. It's a marketing research project. I'm trying to get 100 respondents for this project. However, there are data sets of hundreds of thousands of respondents. And you pipe in, you bring all the data, and with software, statistical software, you start to developing an expertise on your own business. The marketing companies, marketing research companies frequently offer you the data mining services, where you have many thousands of respondents when you went to CVS pharmacy, how it was. So when you are a customer there, sometimes they tell you, I will give you $1 and just fill this survey, and you do it. It goes, normally it's online. It goes to a data set of a provider for CVS. In this case, it's Tuluna. I think they changed. I think they already sent that online opinion panel to Chow. I don't remember now. I haven't checked. I don't like too much online opinion panels. I prefer other ways of research. But the thing is that in Chow is the name of one online opinion panel. They will review that information and classify it, because they are really thousands and thousands of guys coming to answer those questions, and you have to classify them. Why? Because you want a CVS pharmacist to have the proper information to take decisions at local level. So it's a nice job. If you have the opportunity to go to work for one of these guys, it's nice. And of course, this market information, as I told you, you have internal data from your own customers. You have market intelligence you are getting by analyzing your own customers. You can buy information already analyzed. Sometimes it's reliable, sometimes it's not. You have to be very smart in that. Or you can go and ask directly by yourself, directly or through an outsourcing the market research. Now, the internal data set. When you go to work for a corporation, many people are very smart and they are tempted to steal from from the corporation their marketing data sets. And that's, you could go to jail. So don't do it. Even if, but it's very frequent that let's assume you go to work for, let me think here. For example, for a coal company in the north of the state, you are working for them. And normally those businesses are more labor oriented than information oriented. So they might probably have all their customers, all their data sets in a binder. I just went to a taxidermist like 1 month ago. The guy invited me to take a beer there in his house. I didn't want to, but his wife is a medical doctor, and they assured me they didn't have the coronavirus, and they even had the test, and I did the test here by them. So I went to their house, and we were taking a beer, and actually he wanted me to be there not only because we became friends, but because he wanted some advice about his business. And he had in a binder all his customers. I told him, somebody comes to your office, steals this thing, and you're done. Somebody can easily steal your internal database. So this is to tell you the internal databases are not only electronic, they might be paper-based databases. And all of them are valuable. Now, in the secondary market, I'm not talking about a legal market where you where you can sell the data set that you just stole. I put a very nice example last year of Anonymous uploading all the data set from a website that is characterized by married people trying to have an affair. And I was accused of something, that I was a perverted or something. So I cannot give you that. That's a wonderful example of what I'm telling you. But the thing is this, you have the internal data set. If you have the internal data sets, that's the more valuable. So if you didn't steal it, if it's yours, you can sell it. And many times they will pay big bucks for your data set. Well, kind of really a lot of money. The example I was mentioning is this group Anonymous, or it's a group of hackers that they argue they follow ethical principles. So they found this cheaters website, and they told these guys of the website, you know, we don't like you to promote to have an affair among married people. So either you close your website or we publish all your users into the internet, and it's for free. So obviously it's a big business. The website didn't want to do that, and they didn't think the internal databases were stolen. So they ignored this group Anonymous, and Anonymous published the data sets. They are available, and it contains millions of people in the US engaging in their services, trying to cheat the partner. And nothing happened to the Anonymous. They stole the data set, with the challenge to the corporation. The corporation ignored them. They published the information in the internet. It's today, it's available to everybody to figure out who's cheating or who's not cheating. I mean, apparently engaged in a cheater's behavior. Is there an Anonymous disappeared? I don't know exactly what happened to the corporation, but they had a lot of trouble because of that, because of who was in the data set. Now, give me one moment, please. Now, you want to have the information and you want to be very smart with the information. In this life, you might want to wait for something. So you will be accused as somebody who's not proactive. You might want to act very fast. So you might be accused that you rush on everything. It doesn't matter. Probably it was your right strategy at that time. What you cannot do in life is to be dumb. If you have information, you have to use it. It's very straightforward. I know many of you don't play chess because it's kind of not your generation thing. But a good advice also is learn to play chess because it really challenges your intellect. So in chess, you have diverse pieces. And you have one of the two pieces are called bishops. And those bishops will run laterally, like in diagonal, in the board, on the board. And you will have one bishop that will run on the whites. And you will have one bishop that runs on the blacks. And your opponent will have also two bishops, one running through the whites and one running through the blacks. After the match has started, if you kill his white bishop, he or she has a disadvantage. So what you have is a competitive advantage. You can run your bishop on the whites to leverage your strategy, okay? The other guy just lost that piece, allowing you to use the diagonals of all the board through the whites. And this is the sad message of this example. If you do not obsessively use or leverage your strategy with your white bishop, even just to support another strategy, if you don't use your competitive advantage, you deserve to lose the match. You deserve it. You had a competitive advantage, you didn't use it. Try to translate that message to other parts of your own life. This is worth it. And this is to tell you this. Why you analyze so much customers? Why you want to figure out their wants, their needs, try to figure out the demand, because you want to have a competitive edge. If you have the competitive edge, you will be able to make a wonderful corporation, to be successful on whatever you are trying to do. Watch out, because your competitors want the same thing, and your competitors are trying to kill your white bishop. So you better be prepared to have another strategy in case they kill your white bishop. Okay. Now I really I love market research. And I really hate to run on this thing. So market research is the systematic design, collection, analysis, and reporting of data relevant to a specific marketing situation. You want to know, should the iPhone come in black, white? Can we do it? Can we make it red? Can we? Well, market research will tell you that. The small details. How big should a pencil, a metal pencil, how big should it be? How heavy? This is a metal pencil. How heavy? That's market research. The, your segment will tell you, you know what? We are young people. It's okay. Just give a nice balance. When you're writing down, just provide a nice balance. Your segment will will tell you what's going on. There are two kinds of very fast. Today we are transitioning towards electronic marketing research, online marketing research. Personal advice, don't rely completely on that only. The traditional way is the best because you have the customer in front of you. You talk to the guy is there in front of you, and you can read the guy. And you can tell, I gave him this form, this survey to fill. The guy didn't fill it, didn't fill the form well because he was talking with the wife, because he was purchasing something. So he didn't answer me actually. And in that moment, on the spot, you tell the respondent, please, could you please put the attention just this time? It's not going to take too much of your time. So the most difficult part of marketing research, I'm telling you very generic. We do it online. We have like kind of two families, qualitative and quantitative. But which one is the most important, the most difficult part of marketing research? Defining the problem. Okay, I traditionally, when I teach this, I give you a very good advice. Xerox, the corporation, some years ago, 20 years ago, they spent a lot of money to figure out how to come up with the cause of something. They had a wonderful internal auditing department. It came from auditing. And in auditing, always you want to know the why it happened. So when you are talking to somebody and somebody is telling you a problem that is nagging the person, you want to know the cause. Xerox developed a strategy to dig deep enough to find the cause of any problem. Okay, and we use that in market research, and it is used in auditing, and this is how it goes. The person you are interviewing will tell you a problem. You know what? It's cold. It's cold today, right? So that's the problem. Second thing is there an evidence? Is there an evidence to support that assertion you're making? Yeah, it's cold. Look at my arm. And touch me. It's cold. It's very cold here. There is an evidence. Now, the cause. Why you are saying it's cold? So to go to the cause, you ask up to 5 times why. Like that. So, okay, if I understand you well, it's cold. Why you are saying it's cold? Oh, my arms are cold. Oh yeah, your arms are cold. Why? Why are they cold? I don't know. There is a current here. Air. It's cold, the air. Oh, there is a current there. Okay. Why there is a current there? Oh, well, there is an air conditioner. Oh, there is an air conditioner. Is that why? Always will be there, right? So because there is an air conditioner, you are cold. And that's the cause. You can say, well, and why is there the air conditioner, or why the air conditioner is working? Well, because somebody forgot to turn it off. Oh, so if you went deeper to the 5 whys, oh, so because somebody forgot to turn off the air conditioner, you're cold. That's the cause. So now you jump. It was problem, an assertion, evidence. You touch the guy, the arms were cold. Cause somebody forgot to turn off the air conditioning. The impact. What is the impact of that? Well, I'm getting the cold. Now I'm getting sick because of this thing. Well, you don't know that. That's not our impact. The impact normally comes in terms of money. But well, in this case, there is no money in the middle of this. No, there is money because you know what? I'm cold now. I was getting out of my cold, or I don't know if this thing is influenza, but I'm cold. I have a cold, and now I will have to pay more money for medication because of this air conditioner. How much? How much you have to pay more? Well, probably $20. Is the medication is $20? That's an impact. The money. And now the recommendation. What would you recommend? The recommendation doesn't go to the money, doesn't go to the problem, goes to the cause. And the recommendation is very easy. Just turn off the air conditioner. Period. When you extinguish the cause, the impact will disappear. No more $20 to pay for medication. And when the impact disappears, the problem, first, the evidence, the arms will become warmer, and so the problem disappears. So the most important part in marketing research is the problem of the research. So state a problem and try to figure out the cause in such a way that you have an actual problem. And now that you have an actual problem, run the marketing research project. You see? Tie logically everything in such a way that you don't miss anything. So you define the problem and the research objectives. Once you have the problem well stated and actually there is a problem, now just state straightforward the research objectives. You develop a research plan for collecting the information. Okay, to solve the problem, I have to have information. And that's the whole point of marketing research. I have to have the information from the customer. And now that you have a plan, how are you going to recollect information? So now you implement that plan and start collecting the data. And once you collect the data, just analyze the data, do a good analysis, report the research to the board. Each of these steps that you have in slide 17 go really deep. There are many things around those squares. Now, okay, how do we do research? 3 kinds of research: exploratory, descriptive, casual. Hey, I just arrived to the party. What's your name? Sorry, who you are? Exploratory. Oh, so your name is blah blah blah. Oh, okay. And blah blah blah. How old are you? And with whom are you coming? And from where? And at what time did you arrive here? Descriptive. Descriptive. Why did you come? Causal. Causal research. Okay? In the same conversation. And that happens also in marketing research. Exploratory is just tell me what is around. Just arrive to the bar. I'm just looking at the people. Easy. Descriptive. Tell me how many people are where. The groups, the segments. Tell me about those segments. Where are the guys who really like to wear hats? Where in the bar? In which section? If you have to pick one section, where? Causal. Why are they here? Is because it's cheaper? Is because the environment is nicer? Why they are here? So when you develop the research plan, you have a problem. You stated the problem. Now you are going to do the research plan. Well, you have three options. Which kind of research do you want? Do you want exploratory, descriptive, or causal? Which one? Pick one. And you have to justify why. Why do you want that kind of research? Because for each of those, you have different costs associated and techniques associated. You have to be very aware, very well aware that they are different. Those are different families of techniques. So even if you study, you have a major in your bachelor's, for example, communications, you are not qualified to do causal research. And probably you are not that qualified to do exploratory research. If you did statistics as a major, you are not qualified to do exploratory research. It's not in you. You have to talk to people. You see, market research is a kind of balanced thing where you have to have the skills, the human skills, the soft skills to approach people, to go inside of an environment, and you have to have the hard skills to analyze the data. You have a big bunch of statistics. You have to crunch them out. You have to figure out what is there. The book will tell you about the example of Chick-fil-A. I really love that company. They make a good marketing offerings, but they have a nice ethical standards. And they even close because religious matters. I think they are Baptist, so they respect the 7th day. And they don't open their restaurants on Sunday, I think, or Saturday, like BH Photo Video. That's another company, a big company in New York, selling you things related to photography. They don't take orders on Saturdays because those guys respect the Shabbat. So coming back, you have the problem and the research objectives. Now, everything in life is about selling something to somebody else. Just accept it. Move on. That's a hard, ugly reality in life. You sell something, period. Even if you are an artist, you sell something, accept that. Move on. Don't dwell on that too much. To properly sell the market research project, you have to come up with a written proposal. So you defined the problem. Now you found out that a product is not under the specifications that your customer is expecting to be. So you state that in managerial terms. So if the customer doesn't like the product, what's the problem? Well, there is the problem is creating an impact. The impact is we are losing $2 million in sales because they don't like it. Okay, why they don't like it? The 5 whys. Go deeper. Well, probably, you know what? It's the materials. The material, they don't like the materials. The management problem. Because of the selection of our materials, we are losing $2 million in sales. That's a problem. That's a specific, clearly stated managerial problem. So what are you going to ask for? So go to the research objectives, figure out which is the most appropriate materials, what are the most appropriate materials for our marketing offering. That's a good research objective. What information do you need? Well, I have to talk to the customers. I cannot have an instrument to measure something. I can measure satisfaction. So I can launch a survey to measure satisfaction. But that satisfaction will need a covariate. And so probably I will need in-depth interviews with customers with a specific statistically acceptable sample size, 30, probably 30, in such a way that now I can somehow come up with a statistical distribution in such a way that I can make statistical inference. So I need to talk to the customers and to those customers to locate if those customers who are not satisfied with the quality of our product are happy or not. So I will need exploratory research, which are in-depth interviews, probably a couple of focus groups, and I will launch a survey, an online survey, to measure among those satisfaction. And I will figure out if satisfaction is linked towards their acceptance of the materials, and that acceptance is something I'm getting from the in-depth interviews. Okay, so how will that information, once gathered, how it's going to help the management? Is very easy. It will help you to choose the proper materials in such a way that you don't lose those $2 million in sales. So how much money do you need for this stuff? And that's the sad part of all this explanation. It's expensive. Always market research is expensive. Deal with it. Deal. Accept it. It's expensive always. My 100 interviews that I need for my research, the nostalgia study I want to launch. If I pay the respondents with something, it's gonna be very expensive. It's not that expensive. 100 times $15, $1,500. If I don't pay anybody, that's just the incentive for the respondent. If I do the interview directly by myself, that gives you an idea. When you hire a market research company, they will probably charge you from $10,000 up to $50,000 for the market research project that will give you a solution to a management problem. So as you can figure out now, the stating the right management problem is extremely important. Otherwise, you will lose a lot of money from the corporation. So now, we have secondary data and primary data. It's very straightforward. Don't dwell on it too much. The secondary data is already on the internet. It's free. Go to the U.S. Census, and you will get a lot of data. It's free. Just take advantage of that one. The primary data is the data that you collect by yourself. Now, the secondary data, they are corporations that sell you a secondary data. Sometimes that is expensive. It's kind of really expensive. It depends with whom you go. But you can have descriptive data about the specific segment. For example, if you play baseball and you want to figure out the bats, you want to produce a new kind of bat with a wood, but the center of titanium, for example. So how's going that market? You don't want to launch the whole market research project to figure out how's the industry on that segment. So you purchase a study that is already made about the industry of baseball equipment. You can do that. It's expensive, for example, for the cancer patients, using for those patients who are just dealing with cancer, and they have to go to these linear accelerators when they visit the radiation oncologist. The study for that is about $50,000, just to tell you where are the bolts with the linear accelerators in the US. So if you are a radiation oncologist, you know where can you find a place that is underserved for medical services. That's the all these are the proper terms for that specific industry. And very important, the secondary data is sometimes is not relevant to your research question. Sometimes it's not accurate. So not everything that shines is gold. Most of it, if not all of it, is not current. And sometimes is not impartial. Sometimes an interest group, a political group will sell you the data and they will give you their point of view. So it's not the best thing you can do. Now, primary data collection is what you do. You have observational research. Okay, you have qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative is no numbers, meaning no numbers, or not as much numbers. Quantitative is numbers, not at as much blah blah blah. It's just numbers. Qualitative research has observational research and ethnographic research. They are very, very similar. What you do is this. Observational, you just from a safe distance, you observe a phenomenon. Okay? I really hate this thing sometimes, but sometimes I'm not good with cars. I don't know why. I understand the industry very well, but a car is just a car to me. It's not the big deal. But some of my friends get angry when they show off the cars, and to me, it's just a car, whatever. So when you want to see, when I see one of my friends showing off the car, one thing is just to observe remotely what is going on. Another thing is just to live to have a vivid experience, to live the experience with the customer. So jump into the car, document all the movements he's doing in his car. What is his attitude when he's driving? What is where he's stopping? When he becomes excited, when he's riding the car. I did this. I don't think I told you I did this for the. Yeah, I told you for the Harley Davidson customers in Latin America, and they have tribes. And this is very interesting. So I had to wear, like some of them, I don't know how to ride a bicycle, okay? A bike. Bicycle, yes. A bike, I don't know how to ride those things. They are really heavy. But I had to be there. So I went into their, their you know, meeting, and it was very interesting to find out the language, the conversations, what was thought to be shallow conversation, what were the values, how to be mean signifies to be somebody. That was very interesting experience, very interesting. And I recommend you to try it. Try to live the experience with somebody else. And that's ethnography. And that's cool. It's really cool. And there are many videos and there are many books to show you how to do it. I believe in the book, eventually we'll come back to a qualitative research chapter. So I will give you some techniques to do that. Disadvantages of this kind of research, some things cannot be observed. You cannot go into the minds of somebody's when they are living their experience. Sometimes the behavior is just temporal, they change, and most importantly, the observations are difficult to interpret. You don't know why they are behaving in that way. You have no clue. Just see what is going on, try to figure out what is going on, period. Now, qualitative, now quantitative numbers. And we have survey research and experimental research. The difference on those is when they develop an instrument, we call it instrument. The colloquial term is just a survey, a paper survey with questions. In research, we call that thing instrument because it becomes an instrument of measurement, a measurement instrument. But the colloquial term is just a survey, a paper survey. So in that survey, you click 1 to 5, 1 to 7, probably you are using as a Likert scale. And so those surveys, you just pull or you just put them into a spreadsheet. And from that spreadsheet, you use a statistical software, statistical package. You have SPSS, you have Stata. There are many. R is for free. It's tough to use, but it's good. It's kind of really good. It's kind of the true thing in the future. And so you download all the data of your surveys into a spreadsheet and export it to R, to SPSS, whatever. And so you run statistical analysis. The difference between survey and experimental research is that survey is an open population thing. You go and you look for the customers and you talk to them and they fill the form for you. Experimental research is you bring all the people into a controlled environment. We do experiments in the College of Business. If you go downstairs in the basement, our room is in the auditorium. That's where we are going to meet. In front of the auditorium, there is a computer, a room full of computers. On the sides of that room, we have Gesell chambers. Where is that's the place where you have a room with a table, chairs, and you have a translucent window. This kind of a mirror, which actually is a window where observants can see on the other side. Okay? That's where you do your, that's an example of a controlled environment to do experimental research. A focus group is not experimental research, although it looks like if it was an experiment. And sometimes in that Giselle chamber is where you do the experiments. And it's interesting, although the experiments can take any other form. Okay, now we have, I told you experimental research is in a controlled environment, is very straightforward. So now you have the secondary data collection, secondary data sets. You can buy them, you can download them, some of them for free. And you have the primary data collection techniques or methods. And you have mail, telephone, personal interviewing. You can mail your questionnaire. In my country, mostly is face-to-face. You visit the person in their establishment, or you telephone the people and you interview or apply the questionnaire by phone. You can do the face-to-face, which here is personal interviewing, individual interviewing, the group interviewing, which is the focus group. You can do, you can do the Delphi method, triads, 3 people who are experts in their field, and that's kind of the group interviewing. And focus group. Focus group is a group of people talking about a common topic, talking about something all of them know. Now, very important these days. Okay, I will try to finish almost. Primary data collection these days, online marketing research, you have internet and mobile surveys. All of you have been exposed to that. It's nice. Online focus groups, that's cute. And you can interview. It's a software, Focus Visions interview services, that is there in the slide. It's a little expensive. There are other free options that you can do. Even you can run a Zoom meeting and you can have enough information to have a focus group. Why you do this? Because you want the answers to the problem, managerial problems. You want the answers that will boost the stock price of your corporation. Now, you have consumer tracking to follow what the a customer is doing. You have experiments. You give a customer one option and second option, and you observe and document what the customer do with each of the options, kind of an experiment. And you have online opinion panels and brand communities where you get paid like $1 for each of the surveys they send you. There are some techniques, such as you cannot answer one survey of the same nature before 6 months have passed from the first time you did it. There are some rules to do that. All these topics will be analyzed in depth in next chapters. This is just a very straightforward summary. Now, another form of ethnography, which is primary data collection, is the online behavioral and social tracking and targeting. So you have cookies in your computer and they track what you are doing. So they can look at what is your behavior, where are you going. They can listen to you. Alexa is doing that. Those services from Amazon, from Google, when you have the smart speaker, they are listening to you all the time, all the time. They say they don't spy on you. Who knows? And they also figure out that by having the cookies that you accepted in your browser, they can target you not only on your behavior, but also in your social network. And I mentioned it last class about these noises in class, and I told you, watch out with your IP address. But even though if you have your IP address, nobody cares, because if somebody is using in our connection now, listen well, this a sniffer, like sniffer, Those are software, specialized software to catch, to sniff the packages that are traveling. Our connection is an electrical continuum. So the sniffer goes to the cable, takes the package, downloads it, downloads the package, and it opens the package. And you can read what was said. Traditionally, you can get through a sniffer. It's forbidden in the university, watch out. If somebody but the university uses a sniffer, it's very easy to catch if you are the information systems manager, and you may have a lot of even legal trouble. The sniffer, what it does, I have done that with somebody's corporation, opens the package, and that normally, most of the cases, the first thing that comes up is Facebook username and password, Hotmail, Gmail, you name it, username and password, and all your conversations, kind of I love you, and when I saw you, whatever, a sniffer can catch that. So watch out. These are like uncomfortable times, but well, I will stop here. We will finish this thing. We will go to the most important parts of chapter 5 next time. And study hard. These from today to Monday. Make sure you have read the 5 chapters. Remember, you have up to Sunday, 11:59 to answer the quiz on chapter 4. But next week, Thursday, it was programmed for Tuesday, but no, let's go for Thursday for the exam. Okay, and I will give you the instructions on Tuesday, how we will deal with the exam. Any questions? I hate this format because it's me talking. I really hate that. Normally, I'm the guy who shuts up in class. But any questions? If you have any doubt about how to study, what to study, how the system, or whatever, just let me know. Let me know. I will try to solve it. I haven't uploaded into YouTube the last class. I was very busy these 2 days, but now I will start working on that, and I will upload this class and the last class. And thank you guys for coming to class, and I will see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.